The future of Resident Evil remains cautiously optimistic in my opinion, given the success of Resident Evil 7 Biohazard and the upcoming Remake 2 sticking to the survival horror roots. It seems that Capcom is somewhat on the right path here. Let's be honest, I believe that straying away from the aforementioned action genre was vastly important to reestablishing the identity that was lost within the later entries. The only thing to wonder about now, outside of subsequent woes that have been sparked about the quality of Remake 2, is the future. What should Capcom pursue next when it comes to the future of the Resident Evil franchise? We quite simply don't have an answer to that. However, that doesn't stop me from speculating my ass off when it comes to Resident Evil. Let's talk about the hypothetical ideas here and what I would like to see come into fruition after the dust settles with Remake 2. It comes as a no-brainer that Remake 3 should be the next in line when you talk about what ifs, possibilities, and what could be done if Jill Valentine steps into the fray once more against the unstoppable nemesis. The assets are clearly set in stone with a reimagined Resident Evil 2. You have a redone variant of the RPD that Jill can trek through, Raccoon City streets already modeled, a cool mechanic of nemesis following you from room to room, because now in Resident Evil 2 Remake you can have zombies follow you from door to door. You already have a lot to work with, and it's a very cool concept here that they can do with the returning gameplay from the original. Also, they also have gunpowder here returning to some capacity. Nemesis would be deadlier than ever if he could knock down a door to the save room just to get to Jill. Destructible elements would need to play an important role here, but I think the Resident Evil engine, Capcom's new graphical masterpiece, will put this to the test. The reloading tool giving you enhanced ammunition and life selection could all be expanded upon when it comes to choosing your route, obtaining rewards, and witnessing consequences. Throw in a Code Veronica remake as well, and I think you have an entire saga remade of the 1998 Raccoon City epidemic here. This is once again an idea that needs to happen. I personally would love to see the main timeline concluded with a bleak final chapter that harkens back to original ideas like Leon getting infected and the immortal Alex Wesker being on the loose. If you want to hear my theories on that, then luckily I made a video just for you. Click on that annotation or button or whatever the fuck, and you will be able to watch my Resident Evil 8 theory video. Oh boy, Resident Evil Outbreak Remastered. You all know it. You fucking know it. You probably knew this was coming. Capcom really dedicated a lot of time, a lot of resources to get many of the Resident Evil games ported across multiple platforms. There's still nothing that has been done yet with the Outbreak series in terms of a remaster. This is a little bit baffling to me. Even Remake 2 is kind of interweaving more plot threads from Outbreak into that game. The tunnel that Rita and Marvin knew about under the main hall statue is a dead giveaway. Maybe it's just that time to remaster both Outbreak games or make another Outbreak reboot for the modern masses. This side game has a simple premise. Make a Mercs game, make it play like RE6, you know, the Mercs variant that everyone loves to pieces. Make every single character from the Resident Evil universe available and playable in Mercenaries, and let us be graced by the tyrant god of awesomeness and allow us to fully customize our loadouts between each character. This premise is a little bit weird considering how bad Resident Evil Survivor was. Hear me out. I think in the vein of Killing Floor 2 and first-person zombie shooters in general, that a survival horror zombie shooter could work. So Capcom could take another stab at first-person centered in the Resident Evil mythos. The campaign doesn't have to be overly long, just give us zombies and the ability to do possible co-op campaigns and multiplayer horde modes. I think this would extend the longevity of Capcom's online efforts without ruining remakes or doing any injustice to the main timeline by shoehorning in multiplayer. Maybe this game would come out well before Dead Island 2, huh? This game is a backup plan. We all know that Revelations tends to focus on a lot of side characters that really don't show up that much anymore as far as mainline games go. Barry is especially one character that falls under that principle. He showed up in Resident Evil 1 as a prominent character and never really showed up that much again outside of a brief cameo in RE3. Then he came back in Revelations 2, but you see my point here. So I think that the whole television format playing up the Resident Evil drama with side characters should come back for people like Carlos, Rebecca, Barry, Billy, or Hunk to clear up any loose ends that lingered in Resident Evil 8. That's why I said the bad guys should win so these characters can get a little bit more screen time in peril with a successful global outbreak. I doubt Capcom will drop the episodic content for Revelations, but hey, at least we get to be tuned in to see what happens each week as that game comes to a conclusion. This is Renegade Operative signing off, and hopefully you guys really enjoyed this video of what I think should be done with the future of Resident Evil, what installments should come out, and I will see you guys next time. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and tell me your thoughts of what Resident Evil game you would like to see Capcom do next. See you guys later.